everything you see, everything rises and falls on your perspective, your perception, your viewpoint. How do you see this thing?
You know, they'd say something like, well, we'd need 8 people to do that. Well, great, call the temporary agency. It can be done by Friday. And if they'd say something negative, it cost them $1. We'd find them. We'd put it in a jar, and at the end of the month, we'd give it to charity. Well, we stopped doing that after a couple of years because no one was doing it anymore, because the culture shifted.
It's time for you to recognize your talents, your gifts, the mark that you want to leave on this earth.
I need you to do yourself a favor. I need you to put all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul into it. It is a decision. It's something that you have to decide. And whatever it is that you decide, you're going to end up seeing the evidence for that, so you have to be really careful whether you decide that life is difficult. It's this slew of things that's coming at you, that's trying to break you, and nothing ever good happens to you, or if you choose to believe. No matter what happens to you, please do watch our other motivation videos on the screen. Now, thank you.
And see, when we get into the prison of fear, because we have fallen in an area, fear has friends. One of the chief friends of fear is doubt. And doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. There are people who have failed in their head before they even reach the field. And so I want to invite you to renounce the spirit of fear. Failure is the only opportunity to begin again. And if I'm talking to anybody that's hungry for the future, all you need is an opportunity to try again. Failing doesn't make you a failure. It's something you did. It's not who you are.
Because of that focus. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or think you can't, either way, you're right. Why is that? Because if you think you can, you will try. And if you try, you're probably going to pull it off. If you think you can't, you won't. And if you don't try, then you're not going to get it done at all. Make sense? Okay.
5 abilities. First, develop the ability to absorb. Part of the challenge here is, try to get it all, and taking notes and thinking about the notes you're taking. I know it's almost overload. But the first key is to get it. I teach the kids in school. I mentioned in one of these other seminars. Nothing worse than being stupid, so you got to gather up all the might.
And so one thing we are going to have to get crystal clear about is that if I failed, then I can win. I'm talking to that football team. I'm talking to that baseball team, that basketball team. I'm talking to that fighter. I'm talking to that track star. I'm talking to that athlete. I'm talking to that student. I'm talking to the person who failed the exam over and over and over again. I'm talking to that individual who feels as though all hope is lost, who feels as though they gave it their all. If you are still alive, you've got something left. Thomas Edison, he was fired from his first 2 jobs. His teachers coined him stupid, that he couldn't learn anything. This is the man who invented the light bulb the first 1,000 times he failed. But he was never a failure. He just found 1,000 ways that don't work.
You can sort through them later, discard what you're not going to use, refine, do whatever you want, but the first key is to get it. Being broke is bad, but being stupid. So here's the key, to get it in whatever form you can. We get it by video, we get it by sermon, we get it by lyrics from the songs, the dialogue in the movie. We get it from personal conversation. Every possible way. The key is to get it, to absorb, to take in. Here's what else, not just ideas, but life itself. Your mind needs to be like a perpetual recorder, recording your life experiences. So don't be lazy now in acquiring life experience, translated to consciousness, translated to ideas, put in your journal, put in your heart, put in your soul, getting it.
If you're in those positions, the way you lead is with your emotional state. Like if there's a problem in people freaking out and you just come and go, move, I'll handle it. It's not ego, you just feel that certainly people are like, wow, that's somebody I want to deal with. But if you go, I don't know, what do you think? What should we do or should? I don't know, what do you think? Right? You can't have the certainty that gets you to follow through and get results. You aren't going to get that with low energy. So jot this down if you would. You cannot manage what you do not measure. You cannot manage what you do not measure.
As you go to places that maybe you've not been before. You see, leaders know the importance of getting uncomfortable. They know that nothing grows in their comfort zone. You are prepared to rise up and be the person that you want to follow. Leaders know how to lead their own ship, their own vessel, in the direction that matters to them. Very few people dream of where they're going.
There are many battles that we all face in life. Certain circumstances will come into your life, and these battles that we must face has different stories connected to it. These battles that we face each and every day of our lives has many things and many circumstances that sometimes we just don't feel that we're prepared for. But we must find a way. We must find a way and an understanding that this thing that we are dealing with right now in our lives.
The number one thing we have to measure is our level of energy, because it's going to affect the way your brain functions, the way you interact with other human beings, whether a problem knocks you to your knees or whether you truly step up. So that energy is critical. Now think about this on a 0-10. If your energy is a 10, it's that 0-10. Like unstoppable energy is literally. Anybody give you anything and you're going to pour through it. You're going to find a way. If your energy is like a 5, and it's a 2 or 3, it's, well, overall, I'm sorry, you lost your job.
And better yet, get other people to follow in their dream, to get the best out of you and the best out of people you lead. It's essential to realize your burning desire, who you want to become, what you want to achieve, and recognizing that every single thing that you do every day, you're writing your future. Take a moment to imagine that you can see an image of yourself in the future. Maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years. It's you being even better than you are today. It's you who's practiced doing what you need to do each and every single day. It's you healthier, stronger, more confident.
It's only temporary. It's temporary and it will not last forever. You must realize that you must grow enough tenacity within yourself to press on. We are all going to face many battles in our lives. And some of these battles we will not always win, but we must have the winning attitude. Regardless if we fall down, regardless if the struggle is so hard, regardless if we get pushed back a few steps, we must continue to press on. We must disconnect ourselves and stop being prisoners to the sadness, to the weakness, to the fear, to the doubt.
It's easy to look back and think about all the things you could have done differently.